I heard information on the telly this morning that America is being robbed by the crooks that they put in the White House. The crook, the main crook, put all around him additional crooks. And what they are doing right now is destroying America, robbing it. They have come up with a money scheme where they can allow certain people to get the information and benefit from it while other people are losing. That is even the people in this country. The people that is attached to Donald Trump, to the MAGA movement, they get the secret codes and they can invest at the right time. And when Trump is getting ready to do something else that is going to allow this process to really unfold, they get the information and they know what to do. Other folks don't. They benefit, everybody else loses. Trump, they say, is getting at least $1 billion a month from operating like that, while everybody else is losing. Well, the world is corrupt. No one seems to address or care about the effects of poverty and the other things that comes from it. Even though it's crime and violence, hatred and racism and bigotry, terror and war, even affects the presidency and the Congress, corruption, the courts, Justice Department, Supreme Court. It affects the churches and religion, and it uses money in a great part of it. Well, the Democrats and the Republicans are void of solutions. This has been around since the beginning. Now, I know many of you might have an argument with that, but I can say to you, ever since you've been on earth, this crookdom has been around. So, what I did, I prayed and asked God for a vision. I received the vision. Now, it does eliminate many of the corruptions and evils of the human way. It ends profiting from lies and profiting from cheating and stealing and killing. Now, the Constitution, I want to let you get this message, is the law of the land, the law that remains until solutions to the problems are discovered. Constitution still is operable. All people speaking a different language will resist God's advice that I'm sharing with you, but it will continue until the advice that I'm sharing with you about God is accepted or you are destroyed. And that involves every country and every people on earth. God's plan is the plan. And no human being has a better view that is being advocated that allows humans to enjoy the love that God has prepared for them than God's plan that I have shared with you. Now, every human able and capable on earth is prepared for a career, one that they love, and the reward is the greatest joy that anyone can contain. All the resources are used by humans for any purpose, any place, is as free to the people as the earth is. All the diamonds, all the gold, all the oil, all the steel, all everything in the earth that human beings use to do the things that they do is as free. I know you don't know this, but it's as free as the water running in the sea. As humans are engaged in their careers, they are making and causing a manifestation of all that the people have decided and concluded are necessary for fulfillment and satisfaction in life. They are creating such as these, but not limited to food, shelter, and education. You know the kind of things I'm constantly mentioning. These resources, according to God's plan, are free. Yes, your house, your home, you might be living in a ditch, but it's yours free. Or you might be living in some so-called mansion. It's supposed to be free to you. But each individual is supposed to have access to whatever they want, whatever they desire, or whatever they need. Well, free because the people who made this stuff are part owners of all of it. That's why it happens. Rather than going to work to get a paycheck, you go to work to be the boss. Everybody working collectively together, having a certain part in the manifestation of that which is determined, and together they create all of these things. People all over the world working together with a plan to create all of these things that people have determined. This is the product of people working with the stuff that God has given them to cause a manifestation thereof that is going to present peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness and the opportunity to live your dream. Ain't that something? Now you're living God's plan. But the other choice, which represents the entire number of individuals, well, this is going to produce pain and suffering. You see, it produces a life of death. One choice is to serve and give, the other choice is to take and destroy. One choice requires operating in faith to a power mightier than the people. The other choice is claiming superiority while exploiting everyone for personal gain. Truth causes one choice to respond one way, and lies cause it to respond another way. One way will die to prevent pain and suffering. One will kill to rule under the power of pain and suffering. We have lived our entire lives under doubt, not knowing the truth. Yet the pure in heart will find it. Act accordingly, preventing any choices that infringes on the life of others to exist. Either choice cancels out the other. As Americans, the ultimate ruler is the Constitution. As one exercises the choice of faith, God is the ultimate authority. However, as for me and that I've been given, it requires that I do what is divine. I'm not to follow any law on any constitution that directs another path. And when my walk is different than the Constitution, I expect to be handled by that Constitution. I expect to be handled by that law. In fact, I demand it. People, remember, Trump can't help himself. He is possessed by a demonic spirit that was used to reward his father for all the evil he has done. Donald is a sacrifice for the success that his father had. He represents the world over, or should I say, he represents the world's evil for today. And Donald is a continuation of Trump's sellout. The world, especially the USA, is filled with evil. They do not understand. They are just confused. That is our job, to disregard all the evil and establish righteousness. Who is our job? People who know the truth, people who care. That's our job. And not accept anything other than that which represents caring. And unless that happens, we're going to be destroyed. But if it, and when it does, then there will be change. You don't have to be in government to demand righteous. I hear people talk sometimes about make sure you go vote, get in, put people in office. No, you don't have to worry about that. It's down to one individual. It depends upon what you do. It is not about the group. It depends upon, it's determined by what you do. Sure, the group will make it mightier, give it more power, it might be fast, but that does not give you the proper authority to turn your back on that which is divine because it's this other is bigger. Well, to all Americans, do your job, do the right things. When Trump tries to punish you, you act together with others, and this will free you from the evil spirit. Remember, when you see people cowering to the evils of the government, do the right, or you will be a satanic as Trump. Now, what am I mean? You know, I've heard that Trump will get pissed off with certain people or institutions that he can't control, that won't bow to him. He didn't think about the Constitution. He is the Constitution. He is the one that everybody got to. And you don't do that. He said, I got my hand on the purse. I'm president of the United States. My other criminal buddies have said I have immunity. I am going to do what I want to do. So I'm going to punish you. Now, I think he went to Harvard, and Harvard said, no, you're not going to punish us. We are going to stand up. We're going to do the right thing because it's right. went to some other universities or whatever and said the same thing to them. And they say, well, what can we do to make sure that you don't bother us? Now that action, my friend, legitimizes all the evil that Trump and his people are doing, or should I say that is expressing. Now, those people cannot point their finger at any evil that these folks that comes out of that. Why? Because it happened because of them. Harvard can turn back and say, I'm against that crap and stood against and got the evidence. They got the receipts. They are not a part of this corruption. But I'm not going to name your institution, but you know who you are. I'm not going to name the law firm. You know who you are. You know the law, but you said to hell with the law. You don't want to get on Trump's bad side. And so that's what you've chosen, not to get on their bad side. Well, to the people I say, don't believe nothing that exists and that comes out of the devil's mouth. You be the arbiter of truth. You speak. You act. You represent truth, regardless of what others say. Move on your truth, not what someone else has said. Now, if America pays $1 to support the plane that Trump is talking about getting, a gold plane for the for Air Force One, if America pays 1 penny to prepare that plane for what Trump is trying to use it for, then America is complicit in all that that action represents. And you don't have to worry about the pushback. So I guess what I want to leave with you today is this: that we are all have the opportunity to go to hell. We have to all have the opportunity. We all have the opportunity to stand up. My challenge to you is to be righteous. I'm not worried about what the other folks are talking about because the evidence of what they are doing is all before us. That's what we're living. So you don't have to quiet down. You don't have to move aside when other folks talking. No, what you're saying is righteous. Raise your voice. You don't have to do a lot of other things. It'll stand. All right. Okay, I think I'll leave it there because I got something a little bit more important to talk. Well, not more important, but different a little bit later on. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. And remember that a corrupt world will only do corrupt things. And it's okay till they find a solution. Till next time.